Dixon with Mackenzie's Clubhouse and Hillsborough County Schools. I'm an elementary reading coach as well as I own a tutoring company. I'm here today to share with you some tools to being a successful student, not just in school, but in life in general. So I look forward to being with you for these next 45 minutes. 5 habits of successful students. So next slide, we are going to prepare to listen to a short clip. And as you are listening to this clip, I want you to just reflect on the words that he's saying throughout the clip, because you're going to do a little reflection activity afterwards. So just really pay attention to what he's saying about what every teenager needs to hear. And like I said before, even though this says teenager, it's applicable to everyone in the house.
Not caring what people think will be the best choice you ever make. Bro, this old I want to be popular stuff is basic. I know you see the cool kids. They dress fresh, they get the attention, they turning up, they going to parties, and you want to be like them, right? Keep it 100. Sometimes you feel like you're not enough, right? Well, I'm telling you, you are enough. You were born original. Don't you dare die a copy. You were born to stand out. Stop trying to fit in. Popularity does not mean quality, but I get it. I get it. See, in this crazy world we live in, it has no chill. Some people are loved for being fake, and others are judged for being real. But you have to be real. Never stop. Because it's better to be hated for who you are than liked for who you're not. So what if you don't fit in? So what if you're not perfect? Do you know how diamond experts can tell if a diamond is real or worthless? See, the fake diamonds are perfect. The real ones have flaws. And just like that, fake people appear perfect. Real people make mistakes and have flaws. And let me tell you this, the coolest people don't care about being cool. The people who care about being cool are the saddest. When they go home, they're not happy with who they are. Because see, popularity is when other people like you. True happiness is when you like you. See, me and you, bro, we got the same story. See, I was that shy kid. There was nothing I wanted more than for people to like me. But it didn't happen. And I would always think, like why? Why can't more people like me? And then it dawned on me. See, sometimes the universe has to protect you from what you think you want. See, me not being popular gave me time to work on me. And when I worked on me, everything changed. When I had the courage to be me, people started coming to me. See, I found out that I was enough already. And just like that, you are enough already. See, nobody has lived your life. Nobody can tell your story. So pick your head up. Don't dim your light so that others don't have to squint. Don't hide your shine underneath the shade. Don't trade your dignity for popularity. You may not be popular now, but you will be great one day. Right now, you may not be well known, but one day you will be worth knowing. So keep focusing on you. And don't worry about what these people think, mainly because most people don't think. Most people will judge you based on an opinion from somebody else. Man, treat these people like coupons and cut them out of your life. Leave them on red. It's time to focus on you. You may not see it now, but in 5 years, none of this popularity stuff is gonna matter. See, popularity ends on yearbook day. What you build and who you become will last the rest of your life. So don't let them write your story. You keep caring about what people think, you will forever be their slave. And you're stronger than that. So never forget who you are. Because it is who you are that makes you great.
All right, so it's time for some self-reflection. And so what I would like for you to do is reflect on your feelings or your emotions that were invoked during watching that video. So we're going to take about 30 seconds to reflect on that time. So I'm going to put a timer up. To reflect on that question. What feelings or emotions did the video invoke within you? Sorry. So I'm setting my timer for 30 seconds. So now you've had some time to have reflection on the thoughts and the feelings that were what feelings you had as you were watching that video. You're going to come together as a family, and I want you to reflect on this next question. So now this reflection time, you're actually going to have a family discussion for about 2 minutes. So Romans 12:2 mandates us as believers not to be conformed to this world, but to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. In doing this, we will readily be able to test and approve what God's good, pleasing, and perfect will is for our lives. How does the video aid in equipping the young Christian believer in the academic arena? So take about 2 minutes and discuss that as a family. And again, I'll set my timer for 2 minutes. Okay, so now that you've had time to reflect with your family on just the powerfulness of that video, I want you to take that mindset that you had as you were viewing that video, and as we're going through these 5 habits, I want you to think about what he actually said throughout that video about what you are and who you are already, outside of what your friends think you are, teachers think you are, society thinks you are. I want you to think about what you actually are and who you are, okay? Some of the quotes that kind of stood out to me in that clip were wanting to be popular is basic. Not caring what people think is the best thing that you can do. You are enough, more than enough. And that's like a huge one that stood out, because a lot of times we kind of equate our self-worth according to what other people say we are worth. So just walking in and knowing that you're enough, regardless of what other people think, be it your parents, teachers, friends, think of you just knowing that you're enough walking in already. Another one was you were born original. Don't there's no need for a copy, or don't die as a copy. I'm sorry. So he says you were born an original. Don't you dare die as a copy. Like, that was very powerful to me, because a lot of times when we're in school, and I see it all the time as being a teacher, even with the little babies, that they tend to copy what they see and they forget who they are as a person. So don't die a copy. Don't try to be somebody else when you're just more than enough. That original being that God made is more than enough. It's better than what you could ever duplicate in someone else. Popularity doesn't mean quality. Hatred for you. Hate it. You're hated for who you are and liked for who you're not. Real people have flaws and make mistakes. That's another big one, because we think that being perfect is what everyone wants from us. But in all reality, there was only one perfect person that walked the earth. So God hasn't called us to be perfect, so you shouldn't have anyone else put that expectation on you to be perfect. So that was another point that he made that really stood out. Don't hide your shine underneath the shade. Don't trade your dignity for popularity. You will be worth knowing. And that was one of the things that he said at the end, and it was just like, wow. So in the moment, we all go through things. And I know your teenage years are some of the most traumatic years of your life. Middle school years, it seems like that's the most traumatic year of your life. So each time or each milestone you hit, you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, this is just it. Life is done. But as you go on in life, you're gonna hit milestones, and days are gonna be dark, and then you're gonna have some bright days. But all of that you do along the way makes you worth knowing, makes you more than enough, like he says before, just makes you you. So I want you just to remember that. And then what you build and who you become will last a lifetime. So whatever legacy you leave behind, even after you leave this earth, that's what people are going to remember from you. So don't spend your life trying to be like someone else, or try to replicate something else that you see on TV. Be you, because whatever you build is what we will remember. So in saying all of that, you probably are looking for the connection in, well, what does this have to do with being a successful student? It has everything to be to do with being a successful student. So I can kind of let you in now. I'm not going to talk about how you should prepare for class each day and make sure you get enough rest, make sure you study every day. Those are some things that we know. Those are things that we know that we should do. But these habits dig a little deeper in some of the things that we should do in order to be successful. So we are going to go ahead and journey into the first habit, or the first 5 sets of habits, sorry. So there are 5 habits of successful students. You can work and work and work at becoming successful until you're completely burnt out. But if you don't develop a specific daily habit, it's unlikely that you'll ever get there. So basically, it's like you're running towards a goal, and you're just running and just running and just running, but you never come up with a set regimen, something that you're going to do, because we know a habit is something that you do over and over and over again. If you never come up with a habit or you don't come up with a prescribed way of doing things, you're never going to reach success. You're just going to keep running towards the goal. So these are the 5 habits of successful students. 1 is believing in yourself, setting goals, going the extra mile, taking action, and practice appreciation. So those, over the next few moments or the next few minutes, we're going to look at each of these 5 habits. So habit number 1 is believe in yourself. So I know you've heard this millions of times before. If you go to any task and you go into the task defeated, I can almost tell you 9 times out of 10, you will be defeated. If you walk in and you don't have the belief that you are going to accomplish whatever goal it is, you're not going to accomplish it. So half of the battle is just mindset, okay? So if you're going to be successful in creating the life of your dreams, you have to believe that you're capable of making it happen. And so that quote comes from Living Your Best Life. It talks about most successful students aren't the most brilliant student in the room. That's what we normally think happens. Oh, that person's smart, and that's the reason why they made it to where they are. Well, that is not always true. In fact, 9 times out of 10, it's that person's ability to accomplish that goal. Their ability and believing in themselves that they can do it. Successful students assume favor and act as if achieving their goal is completely possible. So I have favor. I know that walking into this task that I'm going to be victorious. You have to think that way going into the task, or think that way. So when I get to the class, I have to think that, you know what, my goal is to have a 4.0. My goal is to have an A in this class. My goal is to learn how to read. Whatever that goal is, you have to establish it, but not just establish it, but know that you are capable of meeting that goal. And then believing in yourself is a choice. So either you're going to choose to believe in yourself, or you're going to choose to be defeated. And so how awesome is it that you believe in yourself, that you're walking in, I'm walking in and I know that I'm successful. I know that I'm victorious, and not walking in and saying, oh, I don't think I can do this. So you'll see at the end of each slide, all of these habits trace back to a biblical stance. So if we look at this scripture, it says, for you created in my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. So I like that last part. We're going to kind of work backwards, that I know that full well. I know that going in. I know that God, when he created me, he created something amazing. He created something great. Guess what? There's nothing else like me. So walking in, I know that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. There's nothing else better than me, Alana. And if you know that side of me, Alana, you've heard me say this time and time again. If you've said in one of my classes, I've said it. I know that because I was created by God, and God doesn't create junk. He doesn't create mess. So if I know that in my inner being, whatever task I come to, whatever I seek out to do, I know that I'm going to be victorious because God has created me already to be victorious. So that's habit number 1, believing in yourself. Let's move on to habit number 2. So habit number 2, setting goals. And I know you've heard this time and time again. Parents have probably drilled and killed this. I know that I work with the youngest group of kids. I work with elementary age kids. And I always ask them, what's your goal? Well, how are you going to get there? Like, you can't tell me, especially kids with behavior problems, when I ask them, okay, what's your goal for today? And they say, oh, to be good. No, I don't want you to tell me it's to be good. What are we going to do to get there? So successful people, they set goals, but these goals, they have to be actually set to be realistic, measurable, and they have to be achievable. Okay? So before I just jumped all ahead of myself, let me go back to the top of the slide. And it talks about experts in the science of success have revealed that the brain is a goal-setting organism. So our brain is already set up like that. Once we think about a goal, our brain already starts to establish the steps as to what we need to do in order to achieve that goal. So successful students know that if they give a goal to their subconscious mind, it will work They will work. It will work at it night and day to achieve it. So if you come up with a goal and you set that goal out, and that goal could be something like, let's take something small, like a 3-year-old might have the goal of learning to tie their shoes. And so I have this goal. I want to be just like my dad. I want to be just like my brother, and I want to learn how to tie my shoes. So automatically, subconsciously, that brain takes hold of that goal, and it starts to work toward that goal day and night. If you look at that little 3-year-old, that 3-year-old's always talking about tying their shoes. Anytime a shoe is untied, they're going to come. They're going to do their best to see how they can tie that shoe. They'll tie anybody's shoe. They don't care. If they see 2 strings, they're going to put those 2 strings together because their brain is already working towards that goal. The studies show that our mind is already set up that way, that once we have a goal, our brain is going to be focused on it day and night to achieve it, okay? So when we're looking at goal setting, I kind of spoke about this at the beginning. We set goals, but they must be realistic, okay? So I don't want to set a goal that I know that going into that goal, I'm not going to be able to achieve it, okay? So let's take me, for instance. I might have a goal that, I don't know, I want to stop eating candy because I love candy. I want to stop eating candy. So when I'm walking into that goal, I know that ultimately my big goal is I really just want to not eat candy anymore. Well, if I set that goal of, okay, tomorrow, Nialana, you're never going to eat another piece of candy. That's not a realistic goal, especially for a person that wakes up in the morning eating candy. Like, that's the first thing that I have. So I wouldn't want to set that goal, but I might want to say, you know what, Nialana, when you wake up tomorrow, you will only have breakfast, no candy, okay? And the only time of the day that you're able to have candy might be lunchtime. And for the next 5 days, you're only going to have candy at lunch. So I kind of, with that goal, making it realistic, went into the measurable part. So when we set goals, we want them to be measurable, meaning we want to be able to measure our success. So what is your measurement of success? So in that goal of me not eating candy, my measurable goal was every day at lunchtime, I would have candy for the next 5 days. So over 5 days, I'm going to make sure I have candy 1 time a day. So that's measurable. Okay, I can look and say, okay, Monday, did I have candy? No, I didn't. Very good. Okay, so then over at that end of that 5-day frame, I can look to see how many times I was successful at achieving that goal of not having candy for a week or however long it is. Okay, so then I have to make efforts towards accomplishing that goal daily. Okay, so that just simply means I want to keep that goal in the forefront of my mind. I want to constantly always be thinking about that goal. I want to pray about that goal. I want to put that goal before me. Some people write their goals out. You know somebody else in the Bible that did that. We write it out and we make it plain so that we can see it. That's my goal. I want to make sure that goal is obtainable. So our biblical standpoint that we have here is the plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely haste leads to poverty. Okay, so setting goals is what's going to make us successful. Not setting goals means unsuccess. Like we're just going to get there. So successful students do goal setting, or they participate in goal setting. They set goals, they make sure those goals are realistic, they're measurable, and that they can be accomplished. They want to keep them in their face every day, thinking about that goal. How can I make little tiny strides towards that goal? Okay, so we have habit number 1, we've looked at habit number 2, and now we're going to go into habit number 3, which is going the extra mile. And this is another thing that we've heard time and time again from our parents. Don't just do the bare minimum, but go the extra mile. Successful students know that if they want to really excel in school and in life, they have to go the extra mile. You can't just be mediocre and think that you're going to be excellent or you're going to be on top of your game. You have to go an extra mile. You got to do a little bit more, okay? So let's look at that. Going the extra mile means giving and doing for others, like your family, your friends, your classmates, your teachers, doing more than what is expected, okay? So if someone gives you something to do, think about how can I bump it up a notch? How can I do a little bit more than what someone has asked me to do, okay? So understanding that usually when you do a little bit more, you get a little bit more. Most times that's what happens. You have to fail to do, have that mentality of what is it for me? What's in it for me? And that's what most people think. You ask them to do something and they automatically think, well, what am I getting out of it? Case in point, I was talking to a friend the other day and we were talking about mindsets of children. And we were talking about how in class, a lot of times we'll give an assignment and the first thing the kid says, is this for a grade? Not wanting to just get the knowledge, but they want to know, hey, if I do this assignment, what am I getting out of it? Am I getting a grade for it? Am I getting a piece of candy for it? What am I getting? Well, successful people don't think like that. They're ready to go that extra mile. They want to go ahead and go a little bit further, not thinking about what is it, what's in it for them. They don't need the compensation or the recognition for them to feel like they've done something. It's that intrinsic motivation that keeps them going. So they exceed expectations. So they pay attention to the details, and they know that it's quality versus quantity. Okay. So thinking about like if your mom, I don't know, what would be a good example of this? Let me think. Great example, okay, might be, let's pretend that you're at work, okay, and you're the baggy person. It's hot outside. Your manager tells you there are no more buggies inside of the grocery store. And I need you outside and get at least 10 buggies and bring those 10 buggies inside, okay? And so you get outside, it's steaming hot. You notice that right there at the door, there are like 8 buggies. And you need 2 more buggies in order to get to that 10 because it's what he asked you to do. A successful person won't think, or they'll think beyond those 8 buggies. And they might even say, you know what? I see that there are 5 buggies over here on the left-hand side of the parking lot, and there are 8 more buggies further out in the further part of the parking lot. I'm going to collect all the buggies and bring them in. So that's going that extra mile. Not thinking about like, if I do this, maybe he'll promote me, or even thinking like, gosh, it's really, really hot out here. But if I'm out here, I don't have to be working the inside. They're just thinking about, you know what, I can just collect all the buggies and bring all the buggies inside. And I wouldn't have to come back out, or nobody else will have to come back out and collect the rest of the buggies when we need 10 more buggies. So going that extra mile is just basically thinking about what can you do for others. Don't look at what is in it for you, and then trying to exceed those expectations, okay? And so the scripture says, if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go for them. I'm sorry. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. So don't just stop at what's expected. Go beyond those expectations, okay? Go beyond what that person has asked for you to do. So we have made it through the first 3 habits. And so I've been talking a lot. And so now what I would like for you to do is take 30 seconds to reflect on habits 1 through 3. Okay. And just so we have recollection of what those habits were, the first habit was believe in yourself. The second habit was setting goals. And the third habit was go the extra mile. Okay, so I want to go ahead and release you to think quietly for 30 seconds. What one idea has stuck with you? Out of all of these habits, what one idea has stuck with you? So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Go ahead and think. Okay, so now that you've spent those 30 seconds thinking to yourself of the one habit that has stuck with you, you and your family are going to come together, and you're going to do a collaborative structure called Rally Round Table. So I'm going to explain it to you, what you're going to do. Now, you guys don't have to, get together in a circle. It might work better that way if you come together in a circle, but you do need to be in close proximity of each other. So the first thing you're going to do is dash and go get a piece of paper and a pen, because you're going to need that to write, or you can get multiple pens. I don't know how many people are sitting around with you, but you need at least one pen. Set your timer for 2 minutes, or we'll set the timer here for 2 minutes because this activity will be for 2 minutes. The first thing you're going to do is determine who's going to go first. That first family member will jot down their one idea that stuck with them throughout habits 1 through 3. Okay, and this activity, I forgot to tell you, is quiet. No one's talking. It's called Rally Round Table. We're all just basically jotting down our ideas. So you're going to take that one piece of paper, you're going to jot down the idea. Each person should take about 15 to 30 seconds per person. Jot down the idea, then you're going to pass it to the next person. That person will read what the person wrote before them, and either they're going to star it if it's the same idea that they had, or they're going to put a heart next to it because it's something that they agree with, or just leave the statement alone. After they've read that statement, they're going to add their statement under it if it was not the same idea that they had. Okay, so either you're going to have a star, a heart, or nothing at that first statement, and another statement under. Okay, so now 2 people have gone. If you have more than 2 people in your group, you would pass it to the next person. That next person will read through what's on the card. Either they're going to start if it's the same idea that they had. If it's not the same idea that they had, they will put a heart next to anything they agree with and add their statement to the bottom. You're going to continue on with that same sequence all the way around until everyone has had an opportunity to read whatever's on paper and add their ideas. Afterwards, you can kind of see as a family which of the ideas you guys either have in common that you think you want to kind of move forward with, or you can see the ones that you agree with as a family. Okay, so once again, you need a piece of paper and a pen. We'll set the timer for 2 minutes for you guys to engage in this activity, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I'm setting my timer for 2 minutes. Go ahead. All right. So hopefully you guys were able to come back together and you had a nice time discussing which ideas from habit 1 through 3 stuck with you as a family, and which ideas you heart and which ideas you had in common. So we're going to go ahead and move on to habit number 4, which is take action. Successful students are aware that nothing happens until they take action. They generally just do it. And this is probably one of my favorite ones, probably one that I overly use, because I think I do a good job of goal setting, but my personality is more so on the rush end. Like if we're coming up with ideas, I don't want to just sit around the table and come up with ideas. I want to just, come on, let's execute it. Let's do it. So it's not good enough to just come up with ideas, but you have to take some action, okay? So taking action triggers students to carry out success by all means. So taking action doesn't sound like, I don't think this is going to work, but let's go ahead and do it. Or taking action doesn't sound like, you know what, I'll start tomorrow. Taking action sounds like, you know what, let's get this done. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, we can come back and we can revise it so that it's better this time around. So successful people take action, and they do it right away. They carry it out right away. Taking action is a catalyst for learning from your experiences. So just like I said at the beginning, that you can take action and it might not work, but it gives you time to revise. And you're learning from that experience that, okay, we took action that kind of fell apart, or we need to do this part a little bit differently. So we've learned from that experience. We can tweak it, make it better, and let's move forward. Not stop, but keep moving forward. So lessons can't just be learned from listening to others and from reading books, but actually doing it, okay? And I know that, like, when I was writing this presentation, I said to myself, oh my gosh, this is so opposite of what we teach in schools, because we kind of like have you guys listen to ideas over and over and over again. You read books over and over and over again, and then move on to something else, and we never get the opportunity to take action. But successful people take action. They don't read about it all day. They don't listen about it all day, but they read a little, they listen a little, and then they move forward and take action, okay? Taking action attracts and encourages collaboration between other like-minded people. So when you're ready to take action, you can't really take action with those people that like to sit on the sideline and kind of watch what goes on, or those naysayers that say, it's not going to happen. But when you take action, you have to surround yourself with people that are like-minded. And I think in the video clip, he talked about that. Your surrounding and the people that you have behind you are so important to being successful. So if you have a lot of naysayers around you, people saying that you can't do it, well, guess what? That's what you start to believe. I can't do it. It's not going to happen for me. Or if you have people that are like, girl, you know what? Or boy, you know what? We can do that tomorrow. Never happen for you. Tomorrow will never come. But you need people that are going to provide encouragement and provide support. Those people that say, you know what? I know you got this. I know you can do it. When can we get together and do it? Or how can I help you? Have you ever thought about doing it this way? Oh, did that fall apart? Well, if that fell apart, have you tried it this way? Why don't we come together and we can go over here and get this part and then put it with this, and then maybe we can do it that way. That's what encouragement sounds like. Okay? So those are the type of people that you need to surround you when you're implementing this habit of taking action, okay? So our evidence from the Bible is, what does it profit, my brethren, if someone says that he has faith but does not have works? If a brother or a sister is naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you says to them, depart in peace, be warm and filled, but not give them the things which needed for the body, what does it profit? Thus, by faith, if it does not have works, it's dead. So basically, it's saying you see someone and they're in need of something, and you just look and you say, okay, yeah, you know what? You need a jacket, and you need some food, but you don't provide it for them, or you don't show them how to get it. How does that help them? Or even if you say, we hear this a lot, I'm praying for you, my sister, I'm praying for you, my brother, I'm going to pray for you. But you have the means of helping that person get to where they need to get. Not necessarily give it to them, but help them get towards those resources, or encourage them to get towards those resources. If you're not helping them in that direction, your works are dead. It's not going anywhere. So we have to put the faith and the works together, or we have to take action in order to be successful. Okay, so that's a big one. So we have looked at habits number 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're at our last habit, which is habit number 5. Practice appreciation. And this is another one of my habits that I really like. Every so often, I believe it's the Holy Spirit leads me to just reach out to people in my contacts to just say thank you. And it might, to me, I think sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm being so like silly or so mushy or whatever. But maybe like a couple months ago, I went through a traumatic event in my life. And some of the people that came in to surround me and pray for me and love on me and just support me through one of the most traumatic times in my life, they did it because they talked about how I was always there to support them. They got a text message or they got something in the mail, or I sent an email out or sent something through school mail at that time in their life where they were just having a bad day or something was happening with them at that point in time, that they thought, or I thought enough, it meant the world to them that I thought enough of them to appreciate them. So they thought, why wouldn't they turn around and appreciate me back? So this is one of the things that I try to do. Like when the Holy Spirit tells me, send messages out to the men in your contacts and just let them know that they're loved, or send them out to all the mothers or whoever it is, even old parents, whatever it is. I try to make sure I do that because appreciation goes so far for people, be it if I'm healing something that they're going through at the time, or it's going to be reciprocal on my end at the time when I need it. So anyhow, let's get into the slide. I get ahead of myself all the time. So anyway, let's jump back in. So successful students know showing appreciation to others, they are not just making others feel better, but themselves also. This factor alone is what makes them become successful. Okay, so being able to appreciate something that someone does for you not only makes you feel good, but it makes not only makes others feel good, but it makes you feel good also. So when you appreciate the efforts of others, they are more likely to help you achieve your goals. So like I said in the example before, when I was going through one of the most traumatic events in my life, there were other people that came in and they helped me get over that hump that I felt like I could never get over. Okay. And so it doesn't always have to be like a tangible thing. Prayer goes so far, or someone telling you, you know what, I've been praying for you, or, I thought about you today, and, I'm just hoping that you're okay. So it's not always just tangible, or it could sound like something like, you need help with your math, and, that I'm really good at math. So, I can help you out if you would like me to help you out, because I know that you're trying to make an A. Whatever it is, that person is more likely to come back and help you achieve your goal. And then it doesn't stop with just that one goal that they help you achieve, but they come back for future goals. So when you appreciate people, not only are you making them feel good, but that act is reciprocal somewhere down the line. Okay? So let the peace of Christ rule your heart, since as members of one body, you are called to peace, and be thankful. So we have habits 4 and 5, and it's time for another reflection. So I want you this time, and remember these self-reflections are always quiet. This time I want you to take 45 minutes to reflect on habits 4, taking action, habits 5, showing appreciation. I want you to think about this question. What is one idea that you can implement? How will you begin this work? So thinking about those 2 habits, which one of those can you implement? And how will you begin that work? So I'll give you 45 minutes to kind of think to yourself about that. And we're going to come together as a family. So I'm setting the timer for 45 seconds. So now we're ready to come together as a family, and we're going to do an interview. So you're going to have a person that you're with, and I said you can pair the oldest person up in the family with the youngest person in the family. So that's the first thing you're going to do. Find the oldest person that's in your family group, and then you're going to pair up with the youngest person, and so on. And then the second to the oldest pairs up with the second to the youngest, and so forth. Okay, you're going to set your timer for 2 minutes, and you're going to discuss the question above. So you've already had time to kind of think about it. Now what you're doing is interviewing the other person, and you're asking them, what is one idea you would like to implement? Okay, and so that person is going to respond back and let you know what idea they would like to implement. And then you're going to ask them, well, how will you begin that work? Okay, and they're going to respond. And then after that, you're going to switch. So now, if you were my partner, I've asked you those questions. Now it's your turn to ask me those questions. Okay, so we have 2 minutes per person. So I'm going to set the timer for 4 minutes because each person gets 2 minutes to talk. Okay, all righty, enjoy your interview time. Okie dokie. Hopefully you enjoyed talking to the oldest person or someone that was older than you. And now you can actually not only understand or know which of the ideas they're ready to implement, but you can hold them accountable. And you can kind of say, hey, you know what? You remember you said that you were going to try to practice showing appreciation a little bit more. Okay, so, you can kind of hold them accountable to what they were saying. Or if they told you how they were going to begin that work, you can hold them accountable to how they said they were going to begin that work. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end our time together, the 5 Habits of Successful Students. And I'm going to end it with this quote. Successful students make a point to create a vision, set goals, break them down in small steps, visualize and affirm their success, believe in themselves, and then get out there and go for it. So I hope that this was, our time together was very beneficial. I enjoyed being with you guys for this little small amount of time. I hope that you enjoy the rest of our conference. If you have any questions and you would like to contact me, you can always send me an email at mackenziesclubhouse@gmail.com. Or you can always give me a phone call, text, or whatever it is at area code 813-404-0535. And again, I'm Mialana Johnson Dixon. And by trade, I'm an elementary reading coach, and I own a tutoring service. So education is kind of my thing. I love children. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you when we're back together in the real world, like being able to touch, hug, high fives, and all those other things. But I hope you enjoyed our time together. Thank you, guys.
Hillsborough Community College. 50 years of progress. 50 years of inspiration. Fostering an environment of academic excellence, inclusivity, and opportunity for all. Encouraging innovation, creativity, and the exploration of new ideas. Placing infinite value on every student and employee, changing lives and shaping futures. 50 years of weaving a unique and rich tapestry represented in our 5 campuses, our students, our world-class faculty, and our more than 190 fields of study. 50 years of forging community partnerships to provide highly educated, contributing alumni essential to supporting local business and industry while elevating the quality of life for the entire Tampa Bay area. HCC holds the mantle of influence over the economic and social viability of our community by generating a $1.3 billion annual economic impact. With more than 84% of our graduates remaining in the Bay Area. Embracing our rightful position as the preeminent provider of the region's skilled workforce. Years of motivating our students to rise with us. Together, we lift our community.
Hello, my name is Sheila McCants, and I am from Hillsborough Community College, and we are delighted to be part of the Family Matters Conference this year. You saw our video and that we host several different types of degrees that will take you transferring to a university or going into a new career with just a 1 or 2 year degree. What I want to tell you is that we are currently taking applications for the fall semester. I know the coronavirus is out there, people are wondering what's going on with us, but we are taking applications. It's very easy to become a part of the HCC family. You can go to our website, www.hccfl.edu, and you will find our free application for admissions, which is very easy to complete. If you're concerned about how you're going to finance your education, we are still taking FAFSA applications as well. And you can find that on our website. If you go to financial aid off of our website, you'll find the link to the free application for financial aid. And we encourage everyone to complete that. And those are the first 2 steps to getting started with HCC. We'll connect you with one of our advisors who will walk you right straight to the classroom. Thank you.
Welcome to the presentation from Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, located in Tallahassee, Florida, established October 3rd, 1887. My name is Augustus Mitchell. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions and Enrollment Management at Florida A&M University, where the Enrollment Management Office is charged with recruitment of undergraduate students. Also, not only am I an administrator, I'm also an alum. I received my undergraduate degree from Florida A&M, as well as my master's degree from Florida A&M as well. So it's with great pleasure that I present with you today about all the wonderful opportunities that we have here at Florida A&M University. But as we go forward, I really want to show you guys our promotional video. So check this out. All right, Florida A&M University. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video and it answered some questions for you all. But hopefully when the pandemic is over, for those of you who never had a chance to visit our campus, you get a chance to come see us. This is a great shot of our campus, which sits atop the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida, where we have 390 acres worth of campus. And when you guys visit, you'll see some new additional buildings being constructed. You'll see a brand new administration building. You also see a brand new student dormitory or student housing, FAMU Towers, and also an outside amphitheater. So not only are we perched atop the highest of 7 hills, we're also growing atop the highest of 7 hills as well. So hopefully you get a chance to come visit our campus when everything is over. But if not, you guys will have a virtual preview that you can view. But most importantly, you're trying to get to this point, graduation. You come to graduate. Here at Florida A&M University, we have almost 100 degree programs, anything from bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs. And we're also the #1 producer of African-American women with PhDs, all right? And also the #1 producer of African-American bachelor degree holders. So at Florida A&M University, we've been setting the standard for a very long time. So for those of you who want to transition to FAMU, and you guys are rising seniors, the application is open now. It opened on June 15th, so you guys can start applying right now. And what are the admission requirements? At least a 3.0 GPA in your core courses, your weighted core to be specific. So make sure when you send your transcript, you're going to recalculate your GPA based on these courses. 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 4 years of English, 3 years of social science, 2 years of foreign language, and 2 academic core units. all right? On your SAT exam, we look at your subtest scores. You notice you don't see a math or reading subject area score. That's a 26 math, a 27 reading and language. And on the ACT, 22 math, a 22 reading, and a 19 English. We look at these individual scores. 500-word essay, which is built into your application. Two letters of recommendation that can be sent through an electronic link. And also a high school transcript. Now, for you guys who are applying, who are applying after August 1st, and you guys are rising seniors, you guys can self-report your grades, all right? Which means that all the information that you submit for your transcript will be self-reported. So moving forward past August 1st, you guys won't need a transcript, but make sure the information that you submit is accurate, because you need a final transcript to confirm your grades. Now, how much does it cost to apply to FAMU? It's $35. However, if you guys receive free or reduced lunch, you guys are eligible for 2 free ACT waivers and 2 free SAT waivers. All right, so make sure you take advantage and hold your counselors accountable. To apply for the fall is May 1st. To apply for the spring is November 1st. And to apply for the summer is March 1st. So make sure you guys are applying. And last, before I let you go, is I need to make sure you all are aware of scholarship opportunities. If you guys are applying to Florida A&M University, you guys are looking for merit-based scholarship opportunities, please make sure you apply and have been admitted by November 1st. Again, the application opens on June 15th. It gives you guys 5 months to get all the information that you need so you could be admitted and considered for scholarships. All right. Scholarship opportunities through colleges and schools as well. Listed are the colleges and schools who offer scholarships independently. So you can receive a merit-based scholarship and also a scholarship from the colleges and schools. Also, ROTC offers scholarship opportunities, alumni-based scholarships. So I'm sure there's a great alumni chapter in your area that provides scholarship opportunities, as well as the FAMU Foundation. So all those are different avenues to gain funding to attend Florida A&M University, all right? But most importantly, we want you all to come strike with us. So hopefully during this time, during the pandemic, we understand that now is the time to make sure HBCUs are the choice, not a choice, when it comes to pursuing your education, all right? For you students who are applying to Florida A&M University and you guys have struggled with registering for ACT or SAT exams, FAMU will have some test optional ways, all right? The goal is to have some test optional ways for you. If that's the case, make sure you protect your GPA. If you're not going to look at your test scores and weigh it as heavily, that means your GPA is way more important. So your courses in your math, science, English, and history, your dual enrollment courses, AP, IB, your IB courses, make sure you stay on top of those, because that's what's going to help you get in. Again, my name is Augustus Mitchell. I'm representing Florida A&M University, and thank you all for having us today. And we hope to see your application in the pool.